Mass Effect Andromeda, or Colonialism Simulator 9000, is an epic, open-world, space-simulating, third-person shooting, Energy Star-rated, lead-accredited, bug-infested, gamer-detested, refund-suggested, action role-playing game from BioWare and my sleep paralysis demon, and a game so boring the characters themselves look like they're going to fall asleep. Unlike the Mass Effect you know and furries love, this game was made by BioWare Montreal because BioWare's main office was busy making an even worse game, made without the creativity and passion that can only come from living in Edmonton, Canada, a city so bad my dad actually quit his job rather than go there for a weekend business trip. Andromeda is a game so bad the entire development team was sentenced to the Siberian prison camp that is EA Motive Studios Montreal. It's not all bad though. Andromeda broke new ground by being the first AAA video game rendered entirely in Play-Doh and animated exclusively in Gary's mod. It was so savaged by fans and critics that EA put the entire Mass Effect franchise into a shallow grave. Did you love the original Mass Effect trilogy but hate the ending? Well, don't worry, because Mass Effect Andromeda handwaves the stories of the original trilogy so hard its hands broke off at the fucking wrist. Even though this is a soft reboot set 600 years after the original trilogy, thematically it takes place between Mass Effect 2 and 3 before everyone in the galaxy died to giant cuttlefish.
Oh my god.
So it's almost like Mass Effect 3 never happened, which means the plot lines from the original trilogy are in a state of quantum superposition where they are both concluded and unresolved at the same time. For example, the racism that defined the first 3 games is gone, because that's not the theme developers wanted to tackle in this game about colonialism and genocide. In Andromeda, you play as Ryder, a member of the Dutch East India Company, otherwise known as the Andromeda Initiative, a group of 100,000 like-minded psychopaths who loaded themselves into massive 20,000 person coffins and shot themselves into another galaxy in search of adventure, romance, and maybe even a little oil if we're lucky. After all, there aren't just one, but 2 Saudi Arabia planets, and even a Canada planet for good measure. That said, it simply doesn't feel like colonialism if I'm not committing crimes against humanity over the contents of my spice cabinet. We'll meet strange aliens, discover hidden secrets using the power of Sudoku, annex sovereign territory with our private military, spread the good word of Jeebus, and wipe out an entire species solely because we can't have sex with them. So welcome, sneering imperialists, to the colonial wet dream that is Mass Effect Andromeda. The year is 2819 and 20,000 humans are drifting through dark space aboard the USS Genetic Bottleneck. After over 600 years in cryosleep, a hero emerges. Oh, fuck guys, I can't do it. A hero emerges, prepared to unleash his inner conquistador on the Andromeda Galaxy. 2.5 million light years. Yeah, that should be far enough from Twitter. Take it easy. I've been taking it easy for 600 years. Oh my fucking god, dude. The 800th person we've woken up today to make that fucking joke. Now it's time to see all the wonderful things our fantasy space future has, like a monorail so pointless it would make Lyle Lanley blush, armor-integrated fidget spinners, and women doctors.
Hello, Ryder. Let me just make sure you're still hearing voices in your head.
Yes, but one of them isn't telling me I should kill everyone. That's not normal.
Yes, that's Sam, your brain implant AI. He's going to be doing your critical thinking for the rest of the game, but he does have one flaw. He can't solve Sudoku puzzles.
Unfortunately, at this very second, the ship hits a space iceberg and our twin sister's cryopod gets yeeted across the room. Luckily, we meet Cora, a woman who perpetually looks like she wants to speak to the manager, and in this case, the manager is Gravity. It's been centuries since we talked. Nice joke, did it take you 600 years to think of it? Time to go inform our dad that we're now an only child.
No, wait, I think she's all right.
Our father is Alec Jones Ryder, the pathfinder for the human arc, and he treats his kids with more contempt than the Menendez parents. But I shouldn't be too hard on him. Sometimes all you can do to get over the death of your wife is to freeze dry her body without permission and draft your children into a colonial paramilitary squad. The ship crashed into a galaxy-spanning phenomena called the Scourge, which is like if the iceberg that sank the Titanic was made of depleted uranium and had metastasized over the galaxy. As Pathfinder, Alec must now lead the ship to a planet that doesn't want to kill us. Luckily for us, we find Habitat 7, named for Dante's 7th Circle of Hell. Alec, we can't land there. That planet is obviously covered in space cancer.
I'm a pioneer. I'm an explorer. I'm a human, and I'm coming.
But before we can go experience the tutorial mission, we introduce ourselves to such mainstay characters as Kirkland, Greer, and who could forget Fisher? We also have to go touch the Good Luck Rock. Good Luck Rock? This thing must weigh 700 pounds. Who brought this on board for him? What's on this thing anyway, Rocks? Oh, you fucker. I've been waiting 600 years for this. Oh my god, fucking stop. And before when I said we can introduce ourselves, I do mean introduce, because apparently none of these people have trained or worked together before. We meet Liam Costa, an ex-cop with more citations than a fucking MLA textbook, and head down to the planet. But of course, this is a video game opening, so there's a 0% chance the shuttle does not explode. After an impromptu skydiving lesson, we land on Habitat 7, face first. But luckily for us, we can use our Apple smartwatch to magically fix our helmet. Wow, that was extremely useful. I should remember that for later. Welcome to Habitat 7, our new home away from home. Experience such wonders as the unbreathable atmosphere, spicy air, and the floating mountains from Avatar.
Like copyright infringement.
We also run into Liam, who introduces himself to us for the third time. He clearly has Finding Dory's disease. Then we run into an alien species called the Ket. What was the first contact protocol again? Oh my fucking god, you're so stupid. I'm just gonna go shoot them. You might call this a violation of the Geneva Convention, but I didn't travel 2.5 million light years to listen to the Swiss. After shooting them in cold blood, which I actually did in the game, we all pretend they shot first. We're all in agreement they probably deserved it. What are all these things? They're aliens, dumbass. After leaving our wounded teammate to die, we go find Cora battling with the Ket. At this point, the team is surprised to learn she has biotic powers, confirming that not only have we not trained together before, but this is the first time any of us have actually met. Otherwise, we would have known Cora trained with Asari commandos because that's all she ever talks about. Using futuristic sci-fi weapons such as a gun and actual fucking magic, we crack open more exoskeletons than the chef at Red Lobster. What the shit, Liam? Why do you think I kept getting suspended? Then we get a call from Alec.
We know we're under attack! We know it! We're breaking the conditioning! Ah!
We've got to leave, but the air is just a little too spicy. Alec thinks we can turn the lightning off with a nearby monolith, which is like if Plymouth Rock was an alien megastructure that caused climate change. When we find him, we realize Alec has once again escalated the situation way beyond what it called for.
I'm sick of being social
Dad, slow down.
not money! I like
Dad, they've had enough. Stop, he's already dead.
That's what we act like! I got the fire of human liberty! Fires everywhere!
Using Sam to jizz holograms all over an alien computer, Alec manages to turn off the lightning settings. Wow, Dad, you did it. You're a genius.
I'm kind of retarded.
Luckily, Ryder is trained to land face first. Oh, this is bad.
I'm alive! I got a life force! I like to have children!
I bet now you wish you'd brought another helmet instead of that fucking rock. Good morning, Scott. You were clinically dead for 6 hours, but I was able to save you. Sam? Wow, BioWare's really getting the Jesus allegory out of the way early this time. I also control your bodily functions. I can make you shit yourself whenever you want, or whenever I want. Do you understand?
Bad news, your father is dead. Good news, you've just been promoted.
Are you kidding me? I'm not next in line. I'm not even qualified.
Yeah, we tried to change it, but Alec changed the computer password just before he died. He also promoted your comatose sister to Fleet Admiral.
Don't worry, if you can pull through, so can she. Bit of your dad and both of you. But my dad fucking died.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
This is a human! This is what we look like! This is what we act like! I've got the fire of human liberty! I've set fires everywhere!
Who is this envoy of the gods? Welcome to the Nexus, the headquarters of the Andromeda Initiative, and a space station so advanced they've eliminated the concept of doorknobs, and now every door is controlled by your smartwatch. The entire station looks like a giant Apple store, but with less child labor and slightly more abandoned. Here we can make purchases, get plastered, and speak with the obligatory impotent leaders of the Andromeda Initiative.
Greetings, Pathfinder. I'm Acting Director Tan, and I just want to say I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm really looking—
Yeah, fuck off, you skinny limp-dick salamander. Listen, fat, my name is Foster. It's Australian for beer, which means I'm drunk off my ass 27 hours a day. We fucking kamikaze here, mate. All the worlds we observed from 2 million light years away turned out to be shit. We've been stranded 14 months. We ain't seen shit. We're still missing 3 more arcs. And you show up. You think you're such hot shit. Rolling in here and tell me you're the Pathfinder now just because you killed the last one. This isn't the fucking Santa Claus. We all know why we were coming here. You've got to get out there. You've got to rip some fucking heads off and shit down some fucking throats. So why don't you fuck off? Stop being such a whiny bitch and start doing some colonizing. I'm beginning to realize how poorly planned this exploration program was. Columbus may have had no idea what he was doing, but at least he didn't try to bring the city of Flint, Michigan with him on his maiden voyage. We also get drafted into Apex, the colonial army, but fortunately for us, they follow Mission Impossible rules, and I don't actually have to do the missions they assign me, which is good as these missions are co-op multiplayer, and I don't want my friends to know that I'm playing Andromeda. I can also send strike teams to complete missions because even though I'm not willing to go myself, it doesn't mean I'm going to pass up the opportunity to send someone else to die in my place. There are 4 separate arcs for the 4 main species, because even though there's no racism anymore, there is still segregation. We also let the Krogan tag along for some reason. Hey, aren't the Krogan dealing with a debilitating disease that's slowly wiping out your society? Nope, we just decided to get over it. For real, this Krogan's attitude is like, we kind of did deserve to get genocided a little bit. We're introduced to our ship, the Much Ado About Nothing, the interior of which seems to exist entirely in the lag dimension. It lags so hard sometimes the doors forget how doors work, and no amount of Apple's smartwatches can fix them. We also meet Vetra, a Turian drug dealer, and Suvi, who canonically came to Andromeda to spread the good word of Christianity. There are more more crewmates like Natalie Dormer's non-romanceable Asari doctor character, but I don't want to talk about them. The ship seems to be designed to promote class inequality. My quarters are large enough to have 3 zip codes while the rest of the crew has 60 square feet of living space, and I'm 100% fine with that. Do you like the ship? I designed it myself. My dude, you built a spaceship with canards. Our mission is simple. Find the other 3 separate but equal arcs containing the rest of BioWare's IP. Find a suitable home for 100,000 people who are all canonically racist towards each other, and figure out who you're going to repopulate this galaxy with. But I will not be doing the latter because as Pathfinder, it would be inappropriate for me to have sex with my employees, and as a human, department store mannequins really freak me out. Our first stop is the planet Eos, a world covered in more radioactive dust than Pripyat. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. The Nexus has tried and failed to set up 3 colonies here. Even though there are literally dozens of better candidates just over there, we aren't allowed to colonize them due to the Treaty of Tordesillas declaring this half of the universe rightful Portuguese clay. And now we're getting sent to commit as much murder as required to make Eos livable. I'm not sure what this colony was for, but they sure loved building big fucking circles. We find the Nomad, a car that handles worse than the rock from the Krusty Krab pizza episode of SpongeBob. The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles, but unlike them, I'm not prepared to eat what I kill. After becoming head chef at the Roadkill Cafe, it's time to do what humans do best: change the environment without considering the long-term consequences to local fauna. But that shouldn't be a problem anymore. I ran over so many lizards I think I already drove the species to extinction. Just like the History Channel, Ryder is betting his survival on ancient aliens. He finds a remnant monolith controlled by the aforementioned Sudoku, but just as he's about to turn it on, this trained military personnel gets blindside tackled by a deranged member of the Blue Man Group.
Don't like being sat on, huh?
Oh my god. This is a horror game. We meet Peebee, an Asari archaeologist, but instead of carefully removing and preserving her artifacts, she shoots them. Ignoring the ramblings of this crazed archaeologist, we activate the monolith, and then we activate 2 more, because the rule of 3s in literature transcends galaxies. We also meet Nakmore Drac, the only character that seems to truly understand the homicidal spirit of colonialism. After holding down E for so long I qualified for Social Security, we locate a hidden remnant vault that's malfunctioning worse than reactor number 4. It takes an artificial intelligence with more memory capacity than exists in the known universe to figure out you can fix it by turning it off then back on again. This activates the vault climate control thermostat and clears the planet of radiation. Little did Addison know, the secret ingredient was artificial climate change, with Eos now slightly less lethal to humans than before, and the native flora and fauna shocked by massive changes to their ecosystem. Addison airdrops an entire fucking city directly onto your position, and they waste no time setting up more of those giant circles. With our Scooby gang of focus-tested misfits assembled, we are ready to destroy unique and vibrant habitats all across the cluster, and our first stop is another remnant vault on a planet called Aya. But on our way there, we get pulled over by a fucking basketball hoop who calls himself the Archon. He's the leader of the Ket, a species so dumb they never invented proper nouns.
You must be the Pathfinder. Twice now you've made a nuisance of yourself by impeding my work. That will not happen a 3rd time.
Well, well, if it isn't the infamous Archon, that title might carry some weight if it wasn't one you gave yourself.
I'll have you know my father named me the Archon after my grandfather.
That's even more embarrassing.
And who gave you your title, Pathfinder? Listen here, you little pasty-ass white boy. I saw you messing with my monolith. That's not a toy. The vault network you found controls the climate of the entire cluster, and I don't want some kid touching my fucking thermostat.
I'm 600 years older than you, Junior.
I don't even hear what he has to say. All I can think about when I look at him is sinking a few 3-pointers into that bad boy.
Look, Space Jam, with my Apple smartwatch, I can control the thermostat from anywhere in the galaxy AT&T has coverage. What just happened?
It appears the call has been dropped, Pathfinder. Ah, crud. Ahoy hoy. Foolish human, you simply cannot cope with the superior doctrine of being your own cell phone tower.
Oh shit, he's a 5G tower.
It sounds like you're not really a threat to me. I suppose I should let you leave then.
Rooster says what?
What?
Ha, gotcha!
No!
Clutching an escape route. Get us out of here. Oh really, Liam? Because I thought we might stay. They chase us, but we managed to outrun him by flying through the Scourge. I'm 100% sure this is the soundtrack from The Dark Knight. At least it would be if the game wasn't somehow lagging in a cutscene. Normally I would blame my computer, but this game hasn't earned my trust with its technical stability. Welcome to Aya, the capital planet of the Angara, a species of purple cat people with the strictest HOA I've ever seen. All these buildings look exactly the same. If I go outside my house, I'll see 20 different types of TPO roof, but the Angara seem to be entirely in the pocket of the seafoam green tarp lobby. But besides that and the volcano tornadoes in the distance, this planet looks completely fine. Apparently, a lot of the planets in the Helios cluster are extremely habitable. You just have to be willing to evict the previous inhabitants. But before Ryder can start writing the sequel to the Trail of Tears, we're introduced to the governor who tells us not to explore the world in this open world exploration game, and you get executed immediately if you don't follow her closely enough. It's fun. It's like playing Follow the Line Leader in North Korea. The governor introduces Ryder to the actual leader of the Angara, a military dictator named Ephra, who does not give two shits that we're here. He does not care one single fucking iota about a 100,000 strong army suddenly appearing and refuses to even give us the time of day. Unless, of course, you're willing to do some chores. We're willing to trade, and our greatest export is violence. It's time to take it intergalactic. Ryder gets to meet a new alien species locked in a war of survival with another species, and he looks bored out of his mind.
The Ket mercilessly abduct Angara. Often, we never see our people again.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Ephra introduces us to Jal, an Angara whose shirt can't come to terms with the frostbite physics engine and constantly flutters like it's trying to escape my computer and strangle me. Jal joins our crew and tells us to go rescue the other leader of the Angara, the Moshai. But before we're allowed to risk our lives for them, we need to earn their trust by risking our lives for them in an unproductive way. I also want to point out that these spacefaring Angara never tell us what they call their own galaxy. They just completely accept our terminology. Welcome to Space Brazil. Besides the invisible predatory tigers and the eternal darkness, it's not a bad place. But there's nothing to find here except for a Turian specter named Avidus getting a head start on exterminating the local population. Hey kid, have you seen any puddles of goo on the ground? Not lately. Well, keep an eye out. The Turian Ark ejected a ton of its cryopods across 4 star systems, and some of them fell through the atmosphere. Oh wow. Instead of looking for man-made horror beyond my comprehension, I decide to leave and go check out the vanilla ice world. Welcome to the planet Cold, a 1-to-1 approximation of Canada, complete with oil pipelines and native assimilation camps. Our job here is to set up an outpost of burly Canadians, but before we can do that, we need to rescue the Angara Pope and support the Mujahideen in the Soviet-Afghan War. I'm sure it won't backfire this time, and these anti-Ket warriors will put their armies on the road to peace. The Moshai is being held behind an impenetrable fence made of blue, the most dangerous color in the Mass Effect universe, and this time my Sudoku knowledge won't be enough to unlock it. Luckily for us, someone left a convenient 10-foot hole just over here. After failing at breaking and entering for 5 minutes, I realized I need to bust through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man. Here we learn the Ket have already beaten us to the Angara genocide. It turns out this facility is actually Jonestown, and the Ket are forcing the Angara to drink the black flavor-aid. I won't stand for this anti-Kool-Aid slander. We have to choose to either destroy the facility with all the Angara trapped inside, or leave Jim Jones to cult another day. But I just can't bring myself to waste a good genocide facility. Luckily, Ryder can use his special skill called cold-blooded murder and shoot this woman in the back. Now that we've done one job for them, the Angara trust us completely, giving us unrestricted access to their city. We can learn more about their culture, establish trade relations, and lay more pipe through an indigenous community than Keystone XL. We also learn about Angara politics and find their only political platform is let's not get killed by the Ket. And on that, we are in partial agreement. This makes us allies for eternity now, just like the US and the Soviet Union. The Moshai is the chief scientist and religious leader of the Angara, who are either so advanced science is their religion, or so underdeveloped they're trying to pass their religion off as science. She takes us to Aya's vault, where we see the vault network is controlled by a central thermostat called Meridian, and god damn it, I'm going to touch it. Unfortunately, the Moshai tells us that the only map to Meridian is on the Archon ship. Excuse me, but this looks like a map right in front of it. Ephra tells us the Angara who betrayed the Moshai is hiding on Kadara, an Angara outpost conquered by exiles from the Nexus who got tired of waiting for the initiative to build an outpost and decided to build their own with blackjack and hookers. Sounds like my kind of place. Welcome to Kadara, a backwards, tribal, sulfur-infused criminal port where technology has regressed to the point where it now takes 30 seconds to open a door. But I shouldn't be too hard on them. These people got kicked out of the Nexus with 50 guys and managed to set up an entire ass city complete with multiple bars and class stratification. Not only did the Exiles make first contact with the Angara, they've already subjugated them. I guess it just goes to show what you can do when you don't put all your energy into building giant circles in the desert. We're supposed to meet at Angaran Resistance Contact when we meet Reyes. You look like you're waiting for someone. Sorry, I didn't realize this was a gay bar. You're playing a BioWare game. Every bar is a gay bar. That's fair, but I'm looking for information, not ass. Why are these mutually exclusive? Reyes tells us the Angara is being held by Kadara's leader, Sloan Kelly, a vicious warlord who uses gang violence to oppress the native population, and whose resume most recently includes employment as the Nexus's head of security. In case you needed any more evidence about the Andromeda Initiative's true intentions, I wonder who her references were. Vlad the Impaler? Now instead of colonizing indigenous land for the Nexus, she's colonizing indigenous land for her gang, the Outcasts. Sloan's Outcasts are in the middle of a gang war with the Collective, led by an enigmatic figure known only as the Commandant. We can even find the Collective hiding in an $80 million mansion in a cave, but be wary, as there's an imposter among us. I've worked with these people, and I have no idea what they stand for, but like the red, white, and blue-blooded American I am, I'm willing to empower a brutal dictator to keep these fringe revolutionaries down. After I tell Sloan this, she lets us interview the Angara who betrayed the Moshai, who tells us where he buried his phone. Alright, time to action this extremely urgent intel. Before you do that, Pathfinder, you should finish the Kadara questline. Why the hell should I do that? I got what I came here for, and this data seems extremely time-sensitive. Come on, we put a lot of effort into that questline. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. No, now release some dopamine into my brain.
I am assuming direct control.
For the record, we now have enough information to continue with the story. I just want you to keep in mind that everything I'm about to tell you up until we find the Archon ship is completely unnecessary to the plot, and some may even say pointless. But I'm determined to present you with unparalleled quality in this in-depth and very serious video essay on Mass Effect Andromeda. After helping Reyes solve a murder, then committing another murder for the sake of balance, he invites us to Sloan Kelly's birthday party where we can converse with the impressed Angara, learn about Sloan's overall outlook on life, get fucking sauced, and exact our revenge on Reyes for making us do the first two boring side quests before getting to this one. So why did you come to Andromeda? To seize the means of production for the proletariat. Sloan's afraid the Collective is about to make its move on her after it took out every single one of her guards. Wow, I wonder what her clue was. I used to think Sloan didn't understand what subtlety was, but it turns out you could beat her to death with a baseball bat and she still wouldn't know what to make of it. Luckily for her, the Commandant wants to meet her and duel for control of Kadara Port, and she's inviting us as her +1 to what is definitely an ambush. That's when we learn the Commandant is the only other named character on the entire planet. You look like you're waiting for someone. I'm not here for you. I'm waiting for the Commandant in this apparently whale-traffic cave in the middle of nowhere.
Bitch, are you for real?
Wait a second, Reyes. You're the Commandant? No, I'm El Comandante. It's Spanish for the commander. Like Commander Shepard? No, like Fidel Castro. My real name is Reyes Guevara Chavez Antonio Banderas Castro. But that would make the Collective a communist paramilitary? Yeah, I can't believe you didn't realize that. I mean, it's in the name. Who else calls themselves a collective? Why didn't you tell me? I told you 6 times, you never listen. And together we'll build a new world. One where all are equal, and where the captain is the same size bedroom as his crew. My quarters are large enough to have 3 zip codes, while the rest of the crew has 60 square feet of living space, and I'm 100% fine with that. I'm sorry, Castro, I'm not going back to sharing a bunk bed with the good luck rock. Oh shit. Ha! Another failed Castro assassination attempt. Wow, I sure hope that doesn't come back to bite me in Mass Effect Andromeda 2.
It didn't.